You actually told yourself that this is gonna be the last time you're gonna relapse and stop watching pornography. But here you are again, watching it more and more and more and more, and getting addicted and feeling frustrated if you can either overcome this addiction or not. And so in this video, I'm gonna tell you exactly how to kill a porn urge in 60 seconds. This is the only video you need in order to kill every single urge that you can have in order to overcome this addiction as quick as possible. And you have to understand that an urge peaks in 90 seconds. After that, it starts dying on its own. And the only reason men relapse is because they don't know this. You're not conscious about it. You don't even know the problem in the first place. And so most men think that if they feel an urge and don't act on it immediately, it's just going to get stronger and stronger until they cannot resist anymore. And that is wrong. And that belief is the reason most of you watching this video relapsing. And here is the truth that neuroscience has actually proven. Every urge has a peak and it builds, it hits a maximum, and then it starts going down on its own. You don't have to fight it forever. You just have to survive the peak. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do that in under 60 seconds. So before starting, you have to understand exactly the parts of our brain that are activated every single time you want to go and watch pornography. The first one is the limbic system, and the second one is the prefrontal cortex. Let's start with the limbic system. The limbic system is the emotional part of our brain, but also the survival part of our brain. And the only thing that your limbic system will care about is you need this now. That's what your limbic system is telling you. I need this now. I don't give a fuck. I have to relapse. I have to make myself feel this pleasure. And so fires when it sees a trigger and it sends a dopamine signal instantly that has been trying for years and runs faster than the conscious thoughts. And here is the actual conscious thoughts. This is where the conscious thoughts are generated in the first place, which is in your prefrontal cortex, which is the rational part of your brain, which obviously make you take decisions and so on. And so your prefrontal cortex, when it's activated in this, phase of the urge, he's gonna start to ask himself, why do I actually want this? Why am I doing this in the first place? And the response slower than the limbic system, of course, and it gets overpowered when an urge is at a peak, but it can be trained to respond faster. And this is what I'm doing exactly with my clients. And so the problem is that your limbic system fires the urge signal before your rational brain even wakes up. That means you start to take decisions based on your emotions, which obviously you want to feel good, so you will go on the relapse in the first place. But if you really think about it, afterwards, you get this thing called the post-nut clarity, and then you're like, why did I relapse in the first place? Now I feel ashamed. And so here is what actually happened in your brain when an urge hits. You have two systems, like I've told you previously. The first one, which is the limbic system. This is the emotional survival part of your brain. As you can see, it's here. It's been watching porn for years, and it has built a powerful neural pathways that says, see trigger, watch pornography, get dopamine. This is how the things work. This is how your limbic system sees the thing. And this fires instantly, and you don't decide it, it just happens. Then there is your prefrontal cortex, as you can see here. It's the rational part that says, why do I actually want to do this? Or why am I doing this in the first place? And the problem is, it responds slower. It takes more time. By the time your rational brain wakes up, the urge already feels overwhelming. But here is the key, and this is what changes everything. Your limbic system cannot sustain that peak activation for more than 60 to 90 seconds. And it physically cannot after that, and it starts to drop every time without exceptions. And so to give you more information so you can understand even more on a deeper level, the limbic system have very specific roles, such as controlling your emotions and behaviors. It manages also your actions based on what it is and learn from your environment. It takes informations, it processes it, and it learns from it and reacts. But on the other hand, the prefrontal cortex have a very specific linear, logical things such as planning, decision-making, working memory, personality expression, moderating social behavior, and controlling certain aspects of speech and languages. This is the most important part of the video, so make sure that you are focused. Look at this. This is what an urge looks like over time. It builds and gets literally stronger and stronger and stronger and hits a peak right here around 60 to 90 seconds. And then if you don't feed it, it starts to coming down on its own. And so this is when you are actually relapsing, as you can see right here, at the peak, because you think that it's only going to get worse. And obviously, you don't know what the wave is already about to break. And here is the other thing, and this is huge. Every single time you survive the peak, as you can see here, without acting on it, the next urge is going to be slightly weaker over time. And you are literally rewiring your brain each time you do this. The neuroscience term is conditioned stimulus response inhibition. What it means in plain English is that you are making yourself more powerful every time you choose to not act on it. And so here are the exact steps that you have to do in order to overcome a porn urge in less than 60 seconds. The first one is to name it, which only takes you probably like 3, 4, 5 seconds. You have to say it out loud or in your head that this is an urge and it is a dopamine signal and it is not a real need. It will peak in 60 seconds. You have to make yourself conscious about it in the first place. Why it works? Because name it activates the prefrontal cortex, the logical part of your brain. The moment you label it, what's happening, your rational brain comes online and start regaining control. That means you're going to start to take action or decisions based on your logical part of your brain, which is the prefrontal cortex. The second thing is you have to stand up, which only take you like 3 seconds. Let's be honest. Don't be lazy. So physically stand up and move to a different room or location immediately. So why it works? Because the urges are tied to environmental cues, the device, the room, the position you were in. Changing your physical state will obviously break the cue responses loop and the neurological level. And so your brain links the urges to that specific environment. The reason why you get to watch pornography is because you are comfortable in your bed and it's late at night and you kind of feel lonely. So you want to feel something. And that's the reason why I told you to either go up so you can activate your physical self in order to start thinking logic. The third part, which is literally the most important thing, you can literally skip all of those that I'm going to tell you here in this video, but this is the most important thing and this is the one that will work for you. It doesn't matter who you are, it will work for you 100%, so give it a try. So you have to breathe, obviously, which only take for 30 seconds. So 4 counts in, hold 4, 6 counts out, and repeat it 3 to 4 to maybe 5 times. So why does it work? Because slow exhale activates the parasympathetic nervous system, which is your calm mode. And this is directly reduces the cortisol and the adrenaline, driving the urge intensity. So psychologically turns down the emotional brain's alarm signal, which is called the flight or fight mode. So you are no longer having a cortisol spike, you are making your nervous system calm. And that's obviously one of the reasons why you want to go and watch pornography. It's because you're also lonely, bored, stressed, anxious, tired, and so on. The fourth one, which is very good as well, it's kind of like a visualization exercise, which is ride the wave, which only take 20 seconds. So watch the urge like you're watching a wave from the beach. And don't fight it, don't run, just observe it and rise and fall. So why does it work? So this is a urge surfing developed by Dr. Alan Marlett at University of Washington. Each time you observe an urge without acting, the neural pathways connecting the trigger to the behavior physically weakens, and you are deleting the addiction one wave at a time. One of the most mistakes that men are doing, which is this, of course, you're just gonna tell yourself that I'm just not gonna look at it, I can control myself, and then the urge is gonna hit. When the urge is gonna hit, you're gonna try to suppress it by willpower. But guess what? The willpower will deplete because you're no longer gonna have more willpower. It's going to deplete over time. And so your brain is going to go into this fight mode and urges will feel even more intense, which will push you to go and relapse because you no longer you no longer have willpower, which will push you again to become ashamed because God is watching you. So it's going to create this thing called the shame spiral, but most importantly, a shame-based identity. And the suppression amplifies the urge. But here is the method that actually works. And you have to give it a try every single time you're going to have a porn urge. So name it, make the subconscious mind conscious, and then stand physically, breathe, mindfulness meditation, 5 minutes or couple minutes or just couple seconds, or you can just breathe to calm your parasympathetic nervous system, and then you ride. You perceive those thoughts just like a sort of wave that is coming to you and going up there. So the urge is gonna hit, which will push your prefrontal cortex to activate, the logical part of your brain. The environment cues is broken, of course. You observe the peak by, visualization, and the urge falls naturally. And so your brain gonna learn one thing is that I am in control, and each success weakens the next urge. And so here is why every man who tries willpower alone fails. And no, it's not because you are weak or you lack willpower. When you try to suppress an urge by forcing, by just white knuckling through it, your brain interprets that struggle as a threat, and it responds by making the urge feel more urgent, and you're literally fighting the wrong way. And so this method doesn't fight the urge, it works with your brain's own biology, and you name it, you move, you breathe, you observe. And the urge dies on its own, the way it was always going to accept. But now you're the one who is in control of the process. You know now more about your brain than 99% of men trying to quit pornography. And the method is that you name it, you stand, you breathe, and you ride. So use it every single time an urge gonna hit. Each time you're gonna use it, next time the urges that are gonna come in the near future will become even weaker. So weaker next urges. And after 90 days, the urges will barely start to come. So if you want the full 90-day system, all you have to do is book a free discovery call, the first link in the description. And so we made a lot of people overcome porn addiction, just as you can see in the screen. For example, Andre, who was addicted to, pornography for more than 6 times per week, and now he overcomes addiction after joining our coaching program. As you can see, let me zoom, as you can see here. And of course, there is plenty amount of examples that we can give you, but obviously I'm not gonna make this video about how many clients we've worked with because it's gonna take a while. I will leave you with this message from one of our clients. I want to let you know that you're the best coach ever, brother. If anyone looking to improve their life and get on team retention but also overcome porn addiction, Hatim is the GOAT and he's here for you, #1 coach to learn. I'm not gonna talk, I'm just gonna let the results talk for me. So don't hesitate to book a free discovery call to see if you're a good fit for our coaching program. Make sure to save this video, use this method every single time, name it, stand, breathe, and ride the wave. I want you to understand something as well, which is very important, is that every single time you do this successfully, you are not just surviving an urge, you are physically rewiring your brain, the neural pathways between your trigger and the behaviors gets weaker every single time you don't act on it, and you are doing the work that actually changes you. And so this is one of the pieces of what I teach inside my 90-day coaching program. If you want the full system, the trigger mapping, the identity work, the accountability structure, there is a link in the description to book a free discovery call with me. And I work with a small number of men. If you are serious about ending this for good, click that link and I will talk to you there. Only 2 spots left for this month. So thank you for watching this video. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments, and remember that life is all about lessons. Learn as much as you can. Peace.